This is not your MRI, is it? Wait, what? Wait, what do you... Oh, no, no. Oh, you're seeing the brain behind. No, no, no. I don't have a brain. I don't think my model artist drew my brain. Today, we're gonna watch every bear and its chance of retiring you from your life. So we know what to do for different bear you may come across. Here we go.
It's scientifically proven that one of the best ways to see how a guy's mind works, to really see what type of person you're dealing with, ask one question. What's the biggest animal you can beat in a fight? You ask that and you'll learn a whole lot in a short time. And in 2021, British firm YouGov did a survey.
Which of the following animals, if any, do you think you could beat in a fight if you were unarmed? Rat, house rat. I am running away from rats. Oh, house cat. Goose, medium-sized dogs, eagles. I'm terrified of birds' beaks. If they go after your eye, it's game over. Large dog, chimpanzee, cobra, kangaroo, wolf, crocodile, gorilla, elephant. Some people think that they can fight an elephant. A lion. Bruh, no. If these animals want to end you, they can. Or at least they can end me. 6% of Americans think they can fight grizzly bear. Moving on.
A lot to unpack here, but mostly the 6% of Americans that think they could handle a grizzly without getting their existence abolished.
Is that gonna have a bear? Oh my god.
And that's how long it would take. Bears are inevitable enough to be one of the
They're
few
so
animals I have a
fast.
one-shot rule
They're
against.
big,
As
they're
in, if they're
fast.
coming at me full force and I have one shot in the chamber, I'm using it to self-medicate
They're
my
so fluffy though. Look at the run. Look at the
force and I
fluff.
have one shot in the chamber, I'm using it to self-medicate my
It's so
exit off
cute.
the mortal coil. I might not survive a hippo attack, but I'm for sure not
It's Mudang's grandfather. Definitely not Mudang. Too many teeth for Mudang.
surviving my reaction to
Look
one.
at the
I'll
small
same-day
ear.
ship,
Wait, did he just like water fountain the water?
but I'm for sure not surviving my reaction to one. I'll
Did
same-day
you
ship
see
myself
that?
to the Lord's
It came out of his nose.
door before I let a chimp handle me, and I'll self-subtract with the
Wow.
quickness before a bear makes me part of its business. Bears are the most conceptually inconsiderate creatures
Ew.
in nature. Basically a giant unhinged dog with every possible attribute
That must be
maxed.
so
Think about it.
painful. I
Nature
don't
dropped
wanna
an
even think
apex,
about it.
all-terrain CrossFit predator that can out-everything you and just let the rest of the
No
population deal
way.
with it. But
Rock
what's the most
climbing?
dangerous bear actually? Well, today we're going to be talking about every breed of bear and its chances of putting you on a shirt. Each bear will get a Merc rating, Merc standing for might eviscerate, ravage, or just cancel you. Yeah, that's definitely the K word that was supposed to be
Okay,
there.
I was
And as
gonna
always,
say.
each rating will be in my very biased opinion. But yeah, call me Joe Rogan or a Grinder Gladiator. Either way, we are going down the bear hole.
I don't know why, but bears walking on their 2 feet, or just a lot of animals walking on their 2 feet, looks so funny to me. Oh, wait, I think this is called like moon, half moon bear, maybe? At least in Korean, there's a bear that's named Pandalgom, and it means literally half moon bear. And I feel like this one would fit.
Starting with the sun bear, named after the
Sun
thing
bear,
he spent
ah.
way too long looking at. Those eyes stared at the void and the void blinked first.
The
And
eyes
yes, they're built
are-
like they barely qualify to be here. He looks like a bear with crippling social anxiety that got told to act natural.
This looks like a person in a bear suit.
They were recently involved in a
Wow.
controversy in China. The controversy was nobody believed that wasn't a man in costume. To be
Yeah.
fair, they're easily the least coated Ursus out there. They're the smallest in the world at no heavier than $140. And be honest, how long would it take for you to guess that foot was attached to a grizzly's cousin?
That's so crazy. I didn't know there's a bear looking like this. It's called sun bear. I wanna just hang with these dudes, but they definitely eat me. Yeah.
Those bare feet help them climb trees, and some bears are the most tree climby of them all. They're shy, reclusive, and mostly eat fruits and plants. They're also trigger happy, nearly blind, and they share real estate with tigers. Sun bears are known to attack people when caught off guard, and their poor eyesight means they can easily get jump scared by humans. They also have one of the strongest bite forces relative to body size of any bear, but probably only because they use teeth to rip through tree bark. There was even one case where a sun bear tiger showdown ended up with both of them becoming past tense, so what could they do to a human? Well, from 2000 to 2010, there were 33 sun bear attacks on humans, with the most common injuries being facial. But all the attacks were accidental encounters with a
What's
sun bear.
facial? Like face? They attack the face? Oh, my internet so slow. Face. Oh, they attack the face. その 33 human injury cases were caused by Malaysian sun bear. Out of 33 human casualties, majority of attacks were on males. They don't like males, oh no. Human injury cases occurred almost every year. Maximum casualties were recorded in 2002. Bear attacks were recorded in all the seasons, but human injury cases were high during spring and winter months. The extent of human injuries by sun bear are related to involvement of people of 31 to 40 years and 21 to 30 years of age visiting forests more and more for hunting purposes. So they scare them. What if they were maybe just self-defense? Some bear were found to attack on people and cause injuries in the head. They go for the head, face, chest, hand, abdomen, and legs. That's basically everywhere. Oh, but the highest number of victims have facial injuries. Some bears face numerous threats throughout their range. Yeah, I'm being a lawyer for the bears. They were self-defending, sir. What do you call judges? Sir, ma'am, your honor. I was gonna say, it's not your highness.
But all the attacks were accidental encounters where the sun bears would probably argue self-defense. And to my
See?
knowledge, there are no recorded cases of a sun bear killing a person.
Oh,
so
that's
with
really
no body
cute
count
cub.
being the smallest, but also being neurotic enough
They kind of remind me like a bear plus sloth.
to be a threat, I'll give the sun bear a merc rating of 5.
They climb the tree like a sloth. Yeah, the eyes are kind of scary. Rating 5. It's like in the middle.
Next you have the Andean, also known as the spectacled bear. For obvious reasons. On paper, he's the biggest land predator in that part of
Whoa,
South
almost
America.
looks like a dog.
Only technically, because only 5% of Four Eyes' diet is meat. Like the sun bear, they're only really a jihad to fruits and plants. Also like the sun bear, the walking spectacle is very tree climbing, and they'll even build their version of a tree house to sleep in. To be fair, you don't really have a choice when your hall monitor's a jaguar. But don't think Buddy's sweet because he got glasses. They've been known to take out llamas.
That jaguar looks so scary, but it's so
Choice when your hall
beautiful.
monitor's a jaguar.
Look
But
at
don't
that
think Buddy's
coat,
sweet because
so
he got glasses.
shiny.
They've been known to take out llamas, cows, and even tapirs twice their size. But how dangerous are they to
What
people?
animal is that?
Well, in 2004, an Andean bear escaped.
Hello?
Dangerous
What is
are-
this animal just casually walking by? It's called tapir? Is it a dog? Can we pet the dog? There's so many cool animals I've never seen in my life. It's crazy.
In 2004, an Andean bear escaped from a Berlin zoo and made a beeline for the children's area.
That's
what
a
followed
zoo?
was one of the most gruesome displays ever caught on camera.
No.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What?
Apparently,
Oh.
the spectacled bear only has one human body on his record. And technically, it was a hunter who shot the bear out of a tree only for the bear to land on him. I'm sorry, but if you fail physics that hard, you deserve to get packed up by Paddington.
Wait, what
Yeah.
happened? I don't get it. All I saw was him with a bicycle. He tried to ride a bike. He stole a bike, and that was very disturbing. So scary. Criminal. Wait, let me go forward. I didn't understand this. Or backward.
Viewer discretion is advised. Apparently, the spectacled
it.
bear only has one human body on his record. And technically, it was a hunter who shot the bear out of a tree only for the bear to land on him. I'm sorry, but if you fail
Oh, okay. So this happened not at the zoo, but in history, there's only one recorded case where the spectacled bear attacked a human, and it was a hunter, and the bear fell on it. Okay.
physics that hard, you deserve to get packed up by Paddington. And yes, Paddington was indeed a spectacle. Spectacles are also the closest
Wait,
living
no
relatives
way.
of... Yeah,
That
the
Paddington character is a spectacled bear.
short-faced bear. Oh, the duality. But considering the only casualty was more to slapstick than a homicidal
Look at all
bear,
those
I give the
flies.
spectacled beast a merc rating of 2. And now
Yeah.
we're at the panda portion,
Or like
which
1.
might confuse some since there's a genuine corner of the internet that'll tell you that pandas aren't actually bears.
Really?
They'll sooner believe China has an obese biracial
It's a
gerbil
bear.
waddling around. To be fair, being a
Look at
bear
him
but
pose on the
identifying as a
tree.
bamboo processing plant is a questionable life choice.
I feel like pandas have the best life. Humans just pick them up, and play with them and feed them, and they just eat and roll.
One, bamboo is so protein packed that Ursus Oreo actually ends up getting just as much as wolves and feral cats. And two, binging bamboo all day means pandas actually have one of the strongest bite forces of any land mammal. Wild pandas usually avoid people, and there's currently no record of a plus-size eyeshadow cotton ball killing a human. But pandas will
The humans in panda suit. Wait, oh my gosh, camouflage so well.
and there's currently
This is not real though, right? It's fake.
no record of a plus-size eyeshadow cotton ball killing a human.
Yeah,
But
fake.
pandas will 100% lash out if they think you deserve it, often with life-altering consequences. Nobody demonstrated panda potential more than straight at the Beijing Zoo, a young panda named Gugu. In 2006,
What
a
did
drunk
Gugu
dude climbed
do?
into the enclosure to give Gugu a hug, and Gugu gave him an attitude adjustment with his teeth. After several minutes of biting each other, yes, Drunky bit
Each
the bear.
other?
They were eventually separated with a fire hose. In 2007, a
Did Google actually bite his foot? I hope he didn't. Did they say they bit each other though?
teenager tried Gugu and got chunks ripped out of his legs to the point where bones were showing. And in 2009, a father climbed over a barrier to retrieve a toy his son dropped. His reward was his leg caught in Gugu's vice grip jaws that keepers literally had to pry open. I really think if pandas didn't wear the makeup, y'all would not be trying them like this. The worst part about getting mauled by something so goofy is it probably
The
takes a
makeup makes them look like they are just like plushies, and people underestimate them. And they're also like they're just like rolling, so people are like, ah, they're just cutie pie, and then they lose their legs. Oh my gosh.
long time for bystanders to realize you're in trouble. They're the epitome of I'm not a killer, but don't push me, and for that,
What are they
they get a
doing?
Merc rating of 4. Because really, if you get flatlined by a panda, you probably deserved it. Now we got the black bear, aka the fight back part of the rhyme, which is kinda true. Black bears are more likely to run away than run or fade. And after seeing them climb trees, thank the
Oh my
natural order
God.
for that. Although
They're
they probably
running on
only learned that
trees
from
for
dealing
real.
with another bear down the list. Black bears are high-key champion generalists. They're smart enough and adaptable enough to live almost anywhere in America. Also, they're not always black, but that's besides the point. Moonlighting as a giant raccoon means they run into people more than the average bear, and if you look at the numbers, they might not be as harmless as the nursery rhyme suggests. Since 1784, there have been 66
so
times
cute,
where a black
though.
bear and a human resulted in one less human. Pretty low, but there's more. There's just under
Oh
12
my gosh.
black bear conflicts a year. 52% are
Imagine you're in the cave, and this is what you see on the other side. But bears only attack when they feel cornered. Well, I feel like this bear probably feels cornered right now, as much as the human probably feels.
typically defensive, 33% were food motivated, and 15% were predatory. That number is interesting because that's actually higher than what you would see in brown bears. Folks now believe there's a slow but very real rise in predatory male black bears murking people. In fact, the first ever fatal black bear attack in California just happened last month. Male blacks, but black bears that is, they have a wider range, which means a desperate down bad male is more likely to try his luck on a hiker. The last stat I have is 88% of black bear assisted census subtractions were predatory, and 92% of those predatory pastimes were done by males. But when I say slow rise, we are still talking about one person getting clapped a year. Also, apparently none of those casualties carried pepper spray, so if you do that, hike in groups and put food and garbage away, you probably won't get cooked by Smokey. In fact, the majority of black bear encounters end like a Mormon liaison, where neither side gets touched. So, they're flight over fight and statistically harmless. But they live in close proximity with people and are technically more likely to see you as free pizza than grizzlies. So I'll give them a 6.
Wait, I expected it to be like a 9 or something, because people said if you see him. Oh no, if you see black bear fight, right? Black bear go, wait! And then they're like, oh, is that what they're saying? If you see a black bear, you're supposed to make yourself bigger and threaten it. Oh, no.
0.5.
6.5, okay.
6, final answer. Not
Okay.
unlike their Asian cousins.
What
And
happened to
disclaimer,
his
we're
fur?
getting into the legitimately dangerous territory. The Asiatic black bear, also called the moon bear, is the
Ah,
first
that's
honest
the
threat to
moon
human
bear.
way of life. They're way more on sight than American black bears, and for that matter, even Eurasian brown bears. To be fair, neither of them have to
pandaiko.
deal with a certain big cat. Like most bears, they're most dangerous when people run into them and the bear feels cornered, and for that reason, attacks are on the rise. From
You're
April
not
2023
corner
to
bears.
just November, 212 people caught the wrong end of Asiatic aggression from a black bear. 6 died, and food scarcity means those numbers are probably going up. In fact, that's why they're a problem in Japan. You see, in Japan, there's a shift with young people leaving the countryside to go make bread in the big city, and food-feeding bears moving into
How
the
did
now
they
less
have the capacity in his brain to film that while trying to whack a bear that's trying to attack you. Unless it was like a GoPro like on his helmet. Moon bear being bigger than a sun bear is so funny. Yeah.
And food-feeding bears moving into the now less crowded human neighborhoods. Now, it's never been easier to find problems with an Asian bear, and from 2000 to 2020, 2,000.
I love when their nose moves when they breathe. It's so cute, but I guess when they attack you, it's not so cute.
57 black bear attacks have been recorded. 42.4% suffered severe injury, 1.2% ended up with permanent disability, and 4.8% lost the ability to exist. They're dead, and over 20% of those attacks happened in August, i.e. right around the time they're getting ready to hibernate. There was even a case earlier this year where a man had to negotiate his arm with a Swiss knife after the Asian variety refused to let him go. Since this is the first bear that is a somewhat regular threat to people, I'm gonna give the Asiatic black bear
10.
a 7.5. Although with the whole
7.5, that's 10. Why are these all caged up like this though?
bear biofarming thing, we probably had it coming. And now we get to my honest inspiration for this video.
Oh my gosh,
the
this is
brown
horror.
But honestly, first I'm gonna clear something up. The grizzly bear is a subspecies of the brown bear, kind of like how the Arctic wolf is an offshoot of the gray guy. The grizzly is basically a landlocked brown bear. They're further inland, and their grocery list is a lot shorter.
How do you tell this? I guess, okay, maybe that looks very different. That is brown bear. And what is black bear? Okay, so maybe black bear kind of has like this like snout that's lighter color, and they have like rounder ears. Because they're both dark, like the fur color doesn't really help with identifying them. Brown bears are much bigger. Can't tell. Guys, I'm gonna die when I meet a bear. If I meet a bear, I'm gonna think they're all big. That's the thing. That's why I wanted to tell them apart by more than just like the size.
Grizzly is basically a landlocked brown bear. They're further inland, and their grocery list is a lot shorter.
They're
which
so
is
cute.
why, even though they're the most famous, grizzlies aren't even the biggest bears brown and around. They're smaller than the Kamchatka bear dwarfs grizzlies,
Wow.
mostly because of the fresh supply of salmon they get from shacking up on the Kamchatka Peninsula, which actually has the highest density of brown bears on the planet. There's like 20,000 of them there. And of course, what y'all know about the Kodiak bear? Named after the Kodiak Islands nature was forced to vault it on. They can outweigh a grizzly by almost 500 pounds, and that's purely off the pescatarian. That is a whole mountain of a bear. Grizzly bears are smaller,
That's
but the higher
terrifying.
off the pescatarian. That is a whole
I feel like these bears could easily knock this over. What are we doing? Do they actually feel safe behind this? I feel like they can easily rip that apart. Chicken wires, yeah, this is not meant to keep bears behind.
whole mountain of a bear. Grizzly bears are smaller, but the higher competition and being gate-kept from coastal calories makes them that much more aggressive. Which makes them, and I don't like to curse that much, my mom watches me, but that is a fucking problem. They're like a predatory Thanos. Your demise is inevitable if they greenlight it. They have jaws that can crush a bowling ball. Pause that mean. You're a high five away from balling like Emmanuel Hansel. I've seen them punk entire wolf packs out of food. They might be the only thing alive that can chokeslam a moose. There's only one video that truly encapsulates how fornicated you are if a grizzly chases you. Well, other than this. Here you have a grizzly running, and way, wow, we're still going. Oh, right there. That's the caribou he's after. Keep in mind, this is the 30-second mark of the video. About 4 minutes was all it took for the seed of Santa to get packed up like a Christmas present and turned into part of the past. But how dangerous are brown bears actually? Since 1784, there have been only 82 fatal brown bear conflicts in North America. Yellowstone surprisingly only has 8. From 2000 to 2015, there were a recorded 664 brown bear attacks around the world.
This makes me not want to go to the mountains no more. Gosh, if I am in this lady's where she's standing and if I see this, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna... Even if I'm supposed to like stay still and play dead or whatever, I'm just gonna start screaming because I'm scared, and then that's not what you're supposed to do. That's what you do to the black bear. And then I'll die. Tree spear, by the way, yeah.
By flatlines. Of these attacks, 17% involved someone with a dog. 10% were after a bear got shot or trapped, aka the person had it coming. 20% were sudden encounters, and an overwhelming 47% involved a female with a cub, proving that the only thing more dangerous than the bear
Boom.
His mama
A
bear.
child. No.
So really, numbers say there's only 11 brown bear attacks in North America a year, 40 if we're talking worldwide. In fact, the chances of getting murked by a brown bear in Yellowstone are 1 in 2.1 million. I do
So the
think bears
people
suffer
who got attacked, they're just so utterly unlucky. Dang. Utterly unlucky or stupid. Oh my goodness.
a lot from shark syndrome, where the attacks might not happen often, but when they do, they're usually graphic enough to go international. At the same time, the worst case scenario scares me more than death itself, so brown bears,
Is that a
specifically
mannequin?
grizzly bears, get a Merc rating
Yeah.
of 8. Make that an 8.5. If you
Or
know, you
10.
know. Now, the
I
sloth bear is a
don't
great
know.
example of something I always say. You have to convince a predator you're worth the effort, where prey will off you before you get the chance. Most bears see humans as a fellow predator. The problem is, here you got one that spends most of his life as prey. Sloth bears got tiger trauma in their bloodline. They also get plenty of smoke from leopards,
Oh,
problems
they're
from
always
gold
fighting
packs, and somehow
tigers.
the same elephants and rhinos that are chill-ish around
I'm the
tigers have
best.
zero tolerance for the baloos of the world. Add it all up, you get a floppy-faced termite eater that's also one of the most violently aggressive animals on the planet. You basically have a giant honey badger with attitude and all the
terrifying.
tools to follow through. It's prey trauma with predatory hardware. They don't really know how to kill, they just inflict as much pain as physically possible. That's why many sloth bear victims end up with their faces torn off, since that's their go-to move against tigers. A trauma bear with chimpanzee tendencies means they get a Merc rating of 9. There's no good record of sloth bear attacks on people, but it's the fact that they live on top of and kill more people than other bears that outnumber them. This is
Oh my
technically
gosh.
the most dangerous bear per capita. And it's the one named after a sloth. In fact, one
That's
sloth bear was
crazy.
called the man-eater of
Sloths are
Mysore after
so
he killed
slow.
12 people and severely mauled another 24. In his defense, something like that's pretty rare, and it's believed the bear was injured by people first and then went on a rampage. Not like the last bear, which is one of the few animals to see humans as prey. I'ma kill the suspense right now. The polar bear's a 10. From 1870 to 20...
So you're telling me that polar bears that look like this and they look so cute are more dangerous than the sloth bear? Because he gave him 9. And that, the clips I don't really want to rewatch was terrifying. But they seem so nice on all these, like, the cola commercials. They're spreading misinformation.
1870 to 2014, only 20 people have been killed by polar bears out of 73 attacks, but it's the frequency that's scary. What do I mean? Well, over 60% of attacks happened between 1960 and 2009. 20% happened from 2010 to 2014. That means in this study, 20% of all polar bear attacks happened in less than 3% of the time, and that less than 3% was in the last 4 years. The polar bear is the only bear that classifies as a hypercarnivore, and they'll try anything from walruses to reindeer, and they'll even body a beluga whale.
Maybe because they live like essentially no greens, right? So all these other bears, they have options. They can eat fruit, they can eat bamboo, and they've learned to like eat these other stuff. But like polar bear, they're always like cold, and they're always eating meat and like hunting to eat. So maybe that makes them more aggressive. It kind of like makes sense, considering how like what they had to do to survive.
As you know, polar bears are one of the rare animals that'll actively hunt people. It's true what they say. If you see a polar bear in the wild, your expiration date's already stamped. They can smell a seal from almost 20 miles away, so you know when ice bear pulls up, it's no mistake. The Arctic op is such a threat. In Churchill, Manitoba, it's common courtesy to leave car doors unlocked in case someone needs a 4-wheeled panic room from a polar bear. The same place, by the way, that has the Churchill Polar Bear Detention Center. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an air-conditioned temporary holding cell for polar bears that get way too comfortable around people. No other bear is more of a certified homicide once you make eye contact. But they wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for receding sea ice basically stranding a marine mammal on land. And like with black bears, it's a starving, desperate rogue males that are most likely to turn a human into a hashtag. And that's kind of the thing. Every bear on this list would easily put humans at a 10. Like I said, Asiatic black bears are the most common victims of bear bile farms. Sloth bears are often kept as dancing tourist traps, which involves brutal maimings and shoving a rope through their nose. Literally, through it. And despite the memes, humanity has done more to pandas than for them. Also, there's the fact that most bears want nothing to do with you. Literally, one of the best ways to avoid a bear is to actually make noise to give the bear a chance to avoid you. Most bear brutalities come from a bear getting jump scared and making a decision. Also, there's
hate
bear
that
spray, but
one.
bear spray is a lot like a seatbelt. You don't get into a car expecting to do a barrel roll down I-80, but
What
the
are
same
you
way the
doing?
seatbelt makes the worst case better, so does bear spray. In fact, you'll probably never use it. Moral of the story? Yeah, honestly, the bear wouldn't even choose us. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. If you rock with the Merc rating thing, I actually have an entire
Cute.
book on the concept. 100 animals that can, you can read the title. But again, each animal has a rating based on my personal bias. And because today's my birthday,
They're
the
too
book will
cute.
be 52% off
But
on
they're
Amazon.
too
If you're
dangerous.
interested, the link will be in the description. But other than that, drink water, cherish your parents.
So
Remember, if
cute.
it's white like a beluga, it's the last time we'll talk to you. And I'm gonna see
No.
y'all.
Oh my gosh. Is that lady okay? Who got dropped into the polar bear pond in the zoo? Hopefully the polar bears in the zoo have gotten used to getting fed fish by the zookeepers, and they were like, ah, we don't do anything to humans. She literally just got
Cherish your
dropped
parents.
there.
Remember, if it's white like a beluga, it's the last time we'll talk to you. And I'm gonna
Like,
see
how
y'all.
did she even end up getting hung like that? Maybe she like tripped forward. I don't know. She's okay since it's viral. Hopefully.
In the next one.
GoPro.
Nah.
Oh, pizza. Okay. I don't blame the bear wanting the pizza slice. Well, that was so interesting. I learned a lot about so many different kind of bears I didn't even know exist in the world.